Good afternoon. My name is Leroy Qualls.
Good afternoon, Albert Coachman.
We are ambassadors for the Pathways program. Today we have very special guests for a very special podcast. Can you guys please introduce yourselves?
My name is Miss Matthews.
How you doing?
How you doing, Miss Matthews?
Hello.
Nice to meet you. My name is Kendall Smith.
How you doing?
What's going on, Mr. Kendall?
How has gun violence impacted you guys and your family members?
Gun violence impacted my life tremendously. You know, it's a never-ending pain. And you will always remember that first call that came with someone telling you that you lost a loved one.
If you don't mind me asking, how long has it been since you experienced the trauma?
Well, actually, because of the ones, and I've been coming here for grief, it's been 7 months. 7 months make today. And this is very important to me, to bring awareness.
Well, basically, in the beginning, they were helping me with the candlelight vigils, like bringing candles. They brought flowers. They gave me direction to people to contact. Because through the city, if they're a victim of gun violence, they have a program that give you $10,000 towards your services. So they were giving me direction and people to communicate with to get all those things taken care of. And that was a great help at a time where I really didn't know what to do. Based off of just not having that experience. So it helped her mother and I, but they still hung in there, was there for me. I went through a process of, being on some vindictive stuff. So at the time, I gave my place up. They still were trying to house me places and do stuff and help. So they always been there, when it was rough, even when it got better. And it just seemed to all fall in place. And now, when I was ready for, some mental health, they helped me get that too. So it's just been an ongoing process, but now I'm able to talk about it, speak on certain things, help. They help me to develop a program to, if you can't afford to bury your children or whatever, or your loved ones, then, we can plant a tree in their honor. So I did that already, showed them, went through the process, had some of the other members of people that's part of the group come through and see how it's done. I also put together a men's group through ONSE as well, so that we can get together and talk about it without having to hold somebody's hand.
Right.
So it's just been an ongoing process.
That's good.
Yeah.
So what message would you give to any other parent who's experienced the same pain or heartache?
You're not alone. It's a struggle, but we here. Moms like me.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you don't mind me asking, how has it been coping since losing your loved one, your child?
It's never going to be something that that you gain any kind of acceptance for. I mean, at the end of the day, it's your child. So, at least it's my child. I mean, you have some people that it could be, their husband or something or whatever. But it's, a child to me is just a different situation. 1 week after a high school graduation, I mean, what kind of expectations can you have from that point? A child is doing everything, you're showing them everything, they're accepting everything, and you just think they have the whole future ahead of them. And then certain things happen. I mean, I think it's something that we could be more acceptable of if they were sick, ill, cancer, maybe even a car accident. But,
Right.
This gun violence stuff it's just crazy, everything that's been promoted as far as how the households are and things like that, these are the things that we need to step up and try to change, because it's going to be a lot more before it's a lot less, so just coping with it is just understanding that, knowing her, she wouldn't want me to end up in prison because or even dead because I couldn't handle or deal with the nuances of trying to survive. You know what I mean? So yeah. I got other kids. I have grandkids, so just fortunate enough that I'm able to be here and do something for them. But I know her, and she would want me to keep moving. So.
What can we do as ONSE ambassadors to better support you through your struggles?
Continue the sessions that they have over here, strengthening my grief, and the support system is out. It's just outstanding. I know Ms. White and her other colleagues has been very, very good to the support team, to the group, and it's helpful. Dealing with 7 months today, you need it.
Yes, ma'am. You sure do.
I want to personally send my condolences to you guys for your loss of your children. I hope that one day, us as a society, we can one day get it together and become one, you know what I'm saying, and come together and stick together and try to move forward and push forward and build these opportunities for these young guys so that we don't got to go through these type of things.
Yeah, I was going to ask a more personal question. Was your child a male or female, and what age did this incident happen?
He was a male and 25 years old.
Young man. What were his interests? Was there anything that you can describe that was very particular or that you can remember the most about him?
His smile, Whitney Houston song, I Look to You. And just being the young person that he was. It's kind of,
Take your time, take your time.
Yes, ma'am.
I look to y'all as, it's very grateful that I'm sitting here doing an interview with you all
Yes, ma'am.
in reference to gun violence. And I look at the opportunities, excuse me,
Take your time, man.
that you all, with the agency, that's opening doors for you all. I heard about the pathways, and it's remarkable to have young people in a setting so you all could be productive out here in society and helping you all. And I thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you as well for allowing us to give you this opportunity.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, myself personally, my days were so bad at one point, man, that it was like I was reckless. I didn't care. I didn't, my frame of mind was in a place where I kept on having questions that I knew I wouldn't get the answers to. Why this, why that? So what ended up happening is one day my daughter came to me and was like, "Dad, I'm okay."
Take your time.
It's okay, brother.
At that point, that's when I began to understand that it's not why is this happening to me, it's why it's happening for me. Because it's a lesson in everything that we have to experience and go through, you know what I mean, whether we want that lesson or not. It's hard, but, it's not like I really had too many people to hold your hand, because it's like once that casket closed, you by yourself. Now you have to deal with the reality of the loss, the emptiness, not being able to catch that laughter, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I bought her a car for her 16th birthday, you know what I mean? Everything that I could ask of a child, she did, you know what I'm saying? And the respect and love that she received from everybody that she was around was just basically a reflection of who she was through, you know, from her mom and from me and all those that were around her and gave her something. So it's like, I miss that beautiful flower that used to grow in the front yard, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just a whole lot of lessons. And every time we go through stuff, most of the time we get angry and we get bitter. You know, we want to blame somebody. We want to force our will upon other people because of our anger and do certain things and don't worry about the consequences till afterwards. And because of that, you know, we find ourselves repeating cycles, you know. So with that, the chain of thought of, you know, this happening for me, you know what I'm saying, it's just putting me in these positions like now, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got a stepson who's retired from the NFL. He has a program in Cincinnati, you know, where he's mentoring, where he's getting mental health, because that's serious, you know what I'm saying? And without the Journey Project, without ONSE, without some, you know, it's a lot of stuff that wouldn't be happening right now. So, you know, only thing I do is just, I let it out, you know what I'm saying? Because if you hold it in, somebody else is gonna get it. You know, I done been there, I had some triggers pushed a couple times, you know, got physical with some people, but, you know, I had to catch myself because you don't know what the next person's going through. Somebody's situation could be worse than mine, you know, and do something to me. So you just have to be respectful of the situation and figure out what it is you're supposed to get from it. And then take that with you, you know what I'm saying? And my thing is gonna be to try to rap to some of the young folks that's out here, boys or girls, and let them know, man, like, it's really what you make it, you know, what you get from the situation, you know, what you gonna do with it, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, that's just the hardest part, is wishing it was her doing it instead of me, you know, so that's what I do with my moments.
You would like
I battled with myself over and over. I tossed and I turned. For me, it was a matter of not questioning. I wish it was me. I lived my life. I wish it was me leaving and letting him live his life. I get up. The pain is always there. It's nothing that's going to take the pain away. I come to my support groups. You know, I try to do a lot of writing, journals. I talk to my higher power to give me strength. Because one side of me is saying, Tracy, you got to handle this. The other side is saying, stand still. You broken in the inside. You don't know which way to turn sometimes. But I try to go straight on a journey because I know I got to be out here. I got to be a voice for my son and for everybody, not just, you know, putting with gun violence, for everything, because it affects the whole community. And then I got to be the strength for my family to stir them in the right direction of not to do wrong. But self-care for me, I knew was important. Because if I'm holding up everybody else in this situation, who's holding me up? I had to get out the denial of not wanting to talk to anyone. And I had to come out, and I got to be a voice. I am his voice. I am their voice. Because you have to be out here. A closed mouth never would get fed. So you gotta talk. You gotta let people hear your story. You gotta let people hear your pain of what you going through so that we could society is broken down. We got to build it back up. And that means getting out here with the services, pathways, ONSE. You got to be a voice out here. And I can't stop because them days do get cloudy. You hurt. It's a pain that will never end. Grief have to go along with mental health. And it's something that I had to teach myself. Because with the mental health and grief, you're still battling depression. You're still battling that, you want to sit down, you want to be withdrawn. You battling this gun violence, you're battling everything in the district. And the programs can never stop. We got to help the youth. We got to help society. And you got to reach out for help. I'm too. Never thought in a million years. I send my condolences to everybody that lost their loved ones. But you got to take a step back and say, enough is enough. You got to be brave about this. You can't sit down. This is not something that you could just sit down and say, once when the funeral is over, we gone. It shouldn't be the case. I have always thought about when it's over, people fade away. You want to bring people together. Because you never know, like things like this, who you will be helping. And the journey is not over.
What message would you give to a parent battling gun violence?
You have to find some form of a purpose. If you have too much time that's open, no volume in your life, and you let it just eat you up, it can really harm you. Because there's a gentleman that comes to the groups. His daughter was killed, and 4 months later, his wife passed away because of a broken heart, and it's real. You know what I'm saying? So if you allow it to fester and grow like that, you know what I'm saying? It's just, it's not going to do you any good. What about, the other children? What about the grandbabies? What about, making sure that everybody else is straight, because you still have that great responsibility to make sure that the family is intact. My daughter didn't have a chance to have any children or do much, but, she still impacted quite a few people, and I'm still in touch with her friends, the ones that's in college, the ones in colleges, the ones that are here working. We get together on occasion. So it's continuing that, you know what I'm saying? You have to occupy yourself, After I planted the tree, we did a cookout at the tree. You know what I'm saying? I had them go by there before they left to go back to school. We might try to link up, we might do some bowling. It's just continuing it, you know what I mean? It's not, I don't get with them to say, well, what did she tell y'all about this? Or what did she, because my daughter loved and trusted y'all, I'm gonna still be around, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all have her secrets. Y'all have the voice or the conversations that y'all had and held on to and kept private, and she trusted you. And y'all have a loyalty to her, so I'm gonna have that same loyalty. So I gave myself a purpose. Right. I didn't just let it fold me, and planting a tree in her honor, continuously staying in touch. If they need gift cards, they need a refrigerator for the dorm, I'll do my best, conversations, going to their boxing matches, whatever needs to be done. When they were going to prom send-offs, it was giving me a purpose, and although how kids don't really come around parents, it's like that's just brought us all together even closer, so, you just have to fill that void, man. You have to feel that emptiness some kind of way, and that's what I've been doing.
I wanted to ask, how has your family been impacted, and how supportive has they been since your son has been impacted by gun violence?
They've been holding on. I have, with me and the family, they are broken. And I remember the day, and this takes me back to when the homicide had to tell me about my son. With the support, because you have your detectives only there in the room. If it wasn't for my family and its support, I wouldn't know what to do. And the detectives couldn't support me because you're the messenger. It wasn't nobody in the room but us and my family. So with me, I had to console my family as well and be the support. So it works hand in hand. Without that support and getting the information, it's a devastating pain. But I could count on, I have the ones, I have my family. Y'all my support system. Y'all just, help me to grieve with my coping skills. So you are my support. Y'all here.
I appreciate that.
And I thank y'all for the support.
You're welcome, man.
Little message of encouragement. You guys are you guys coming here? First of all, I appreciate y'all for coming here and allowing us to interview you guys. It takes a strong person to cope with violence like this, losing a child, not just a loved one, but your child. And I want to encourage you guys to keep moving forward. Don't give up. Don't let. We all go through things. This might be one of the hardest things for you guys as parents, but enough, like you said, enough is enough. And I want you guys, if you guys, like you said, you have grandchildren, other kids, stuff like that, allow this to be a lesson learned for them. Teach them a better way. Give them more guidance, because that's what we all need. Not just the younger generation, but even the older guys. We all need guidance in some type of way. And just use your coping skills and just keep moving forward. Just keep moving forward.
Yeah, I also want to commend you guys for your courage and your bravery. You guys are examples for, strength in moving forward with the devastation of losing a child. It's also, like you said, a lesson. It teaches us as young people that we have to put more effort into becoming better people in general, making smarter decisions, being more decisive as far as the crowd we tend to hang with, and the career path that we want to choose. We get taught here a lot about perseverance, and every day is an interview, so how you present yourself is very important. So presentation, your first impression is your best impression, and with this interview here, it shows a lot of courage between you two as parents. I've seen a lot of parents just break down and give up. Like you said, you have an example of someone losing their life from heartbreak. And that's pain. That's a lot of pain that person was dealing with, that they didn't even want to, even be here anymore. And it's very traumatic that as a community, our family members and ourselves have to deal with this so continuous that it becomes normalized. And I feel like, you know, as far as society, we can focus more so on the positive aspects of life instead of having to continuously deal with the trauma.
And also, like you said, mental health is a big thing in society, in our community, in our city. And I feel like, and this is not for just you two guys, anyone that's going through mental health out there, I feel like you should talk to someone. Don't hold it in, let it out. When you hurt, try to front like it's okay, it hurts more. It becomes more of a burden on you. So try to go and get that help, talk to someone. It's very, very important. Mental health is very important. So please just talk to someone.
Yeah, support is very important as well. You said your family supported you through, and I feel like that was very helpful, very beneficial for a lot of us who need support. A lot of us, you know, as far as our community of people, we feel like we lack that support from our community. So we decide to, you know, cope with traumas through vices, you know, like drugs and alcohol, or through hanging with people that we maybe shouldn't be hanging with. But it's always an opportunity to grow.
Always.
So having that support gives us that opportunity.
Once again, I'm Albert Coachman, represent Pathways ONSE program.
And I'm Leroy Qualls, representing Pathways.
I'm Kendall Smith, representing Kendall Myers.
Tracy Matthews.
Thank y'all for coming out.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. Yes.
Autographs are being done at the front door.
Yes, that was so powerful.
Man, I thought that was somebody else's phone beeping and carrying on, man.
Yours, you?
Yeah.